Hey guys, HitoriFX here. Welcome to the 16th episode of the weekly market outlook with TRADEXPROP. Now, in this episode, I will be covering the dollar index, gold, and the S&P 500. Now, if there are any other asset classes you would like me to cover, leave a comment down below in the description, or even better, join our free Discord where you can talk to me as well as the other team members and like-minded traders. Alright, so hopefully my voice is back. I know for the past few episodes it's been pretty dead, but hopefully it's a bit stronger right now, okay? And that ensures confidence in the analysis. So here we have the DXY monthly, and I'd like to cover the dollar index because it is kind of I call it at least the mother currency, because many other currencies and asset classes are affected by the movements of the dollar index. So I tend to spend a bit more time on this currency right here. So here we have the DXY monthly, and the first thing I do based on my current style of analysis is I go through what is the storyline of this current time frame, because understanding storyline, it will allow me to understand where and why I should place my trades at. Okay, so for example, should I be buying or selling in lower time frames, or on this time frame can I hold my swing trades for a longer period based on the concept of storyline. So here we have the DXY monthly, and always keep an eye on where you are in the current month. Which week are you in? Because that can give you an insight on how the monthly candlestick is likely to finish and print. Okay, so here the storyline I've noted down here, it is currently bullish, and we turned bullish actually around this open close support. We tapped it and we respected it, and now we've seen a push higher from here. So at the moment we are in a bullish storyline, meaning we should be looking at buys around weekly supports, and that is your swing idea. However, we are in the final week of the month. The month ends Wednesday next week, so that will be an interesting time to see where we currently close at. So because we are on the monthly, there's not much we can actually see right here, but at the moment we are beneath this monthly open close support right here. So if we do close beneath it next week, we could expect a movement like this to go lower in the following month of August, right, into maybe something right here. This is that next monthly support, but personally I'm not expecting it to come down so quickly, or at least come down here as of now. I think I'll prefer for us to come up, take a short-term sell position right here, and wait for more structure to form in the coming months. There could be something within this price section that is fresh on the weekly, so we could see a push move from those weekly levels, because as of now, from what I'm currently seeing, there really isn't any fresh monthly levels right here. Okay, it's all kind of stagnated and mushed around this area right here. We have this support, we have this left shoulder, this is kind of in between, so I won't really count that, but it's just kind of all packed within this key area right here. So that is still quite far from where we currently are, around 2,000 points right here from where we currently are. So it's kind of bad to have such a long-term expectation based on how I currently trade. So I won't try to do that. I'll just wait for price action to show me where it likely wants to go. So recap, monthly bullish, longs and weekly supports are valid. So coming down to the weekly, we are going to see a lot more price action. Repeat the same thing. What is the storyline? So we are currently weekly bearish on the DXY. Denoted here in this red line, we had this support, breaks becomes resistance, breaks becomes support again, and finally we broke one last time here as a SBR, a flip area, and we tapped it right here, and we had a weekly bearish storyline start here. So we are currently weekly bearish. So what did we do last week? Well, last week we had kind of an indecision candle, like a doji, and we respected this area that I marked out in the previous outlook as well. We had this upper end, which is this support right here, as well as this support right here, and we respected both of them. So at the moment, we do have a weekly reject weekly support, which is the first step for a potential weekly bullish storyline to start, but it hasn't started yet until we see a daily bullish breakout. So at the moment, we are still weekly bearish, meaning we can take shorts around daily resistance as well as weekly resistance to go lower. Oh no, I went to the Euro USD. So at the moment, we are still bearish, so we could see a move higher into some levels and then a move lower. Well, at the moment, we do have this area of interest right here. We have this open close resistance as well as this left shoulder right here. So this key area is something to pay attention to. In case we come up to it, we may see a push move lower. However, personally, how do I put this? I'm not expecting us to go that high up into this monthly support right here and go into monthly. We had this monthly support. I'm not expecting price to kind of go up to push down lower, even though we could do that. I think next week we might come into a daily resistance and then push lower from there. So let's go down into the daily and let's take a look at what we currently have. So daily storyline is bullish. Where did we turn bullish? Right around here. We had this support, resistance, breaks began support again. So this daily left shoulder, price tapped it, and then we had a bullish storyline start from there because we had a H4 break out after this daily reject daily. Now, to be fair, last week price was kind of whack. Price was not that good. We were just arranging throughout the entire week right here, and that was a bit of a mess to navigate. But regardless, we still move on. Even if the price action is bad, we will just decide not to trade them. So daily bullish but weekly bearish. So potentially what is ongoing is we could see price come up into something right here to push lower. Okay, now this is that weekly resistance right here. So any of these areas, they are valid to trade from. This resistance, open close, this flip, this flip as well. So this entire area is a potential area that price could come into and test to go lower. But like I said, I personally am not expecting price to kind of come into this area above the monthly support. Personally, I'm not expecting that, but it definitely could happen. I think what price might do instead is come into this daily resistance up top, come into it, maybe take out these highs into this fair value gap, respecting this resistance to go lower. That's personally what I'm expecting. So I'm still expecting a bearish market, but at the moment it's still unconfirmed because the monthly is bullish. It's more so kind of like an anticipation bias on my end right here. Is what my experience has shown me through my periods of back testing and forward testing. So I think personally we could see this move happen, but I could be wrong. We could just do a breakout right here after rejecting this weekly and then turn long-term bullish again. So that is what I'm currently expecting right here. Key area of interest for you to short from if it comes up, or we have this nearby area right here that price could just opt and go lower from. Now if we do come down within this price action, if we do come down, this is my last kind of area of last stand for longs, because remember, if we close beneath the monthly, we are going to have a monthly resistance right here that price could come up, retest, go lower from. So that's something to keep in mind. I want next week to show its hand quick, so come up, take a good short down, and then maybe whatever happens then, happens then. Okay, so not only do you have to look at price action in a whole, you also have to look at something that's very important to us, which is the economic calendar, which I have right here. Let me put it like this. So next week we have a lot of news for the US dollar. Monday, no news, and we have news all the way from Tuesday to Friday, right? So Tuesday we have jobs and consumer confidence. Wednesday, ADP. Thursday we have FOMC, as well as unemployment claims, and Friday we have the big bad NFP, unemployment rate, and non-farm employment changes. So with such a volatile week, most people might decide to stay out, because technically all of these are really strong movements, right? In just 1 week, I have 2 of the big 3 news releases, which is NFP as well as FOMC. So really interested to see how the week will go. I don't know where, quite frankly, based on this, I'm not sure where we could see the true move come, but either way, this date and time, you are going to be sure that there's going to be momentum coming into the markets. Okay, so the big ones, it will be mainly around Thursday and Friday. So some people decide to stay out of these 2, that's fine. Tuesday and Wednesday could be a move in the opposite direction of the weekly candle. So let's just say weekly candle is going to be bullish. We could see Monday to Wednesday form the low of the week, and then Thursday and Friday to expand in the expand in the intended direction. Okay, so I'll say it again. We could see Monday and Wednesday expand in the opposite direction of the weekly candle, and Thursday and Friday we could see the expansion in the true move or the true direction. All right, now I don't know if that will happen. It's just kind of like a fun anticipation and on my part. So just keep note of that, of the times, as well as the restricted news trading style of our rules, so you don't get punished for it. Okay, so that is the DXY. Let's move on to gold. All right, so gold monthly storyline is bullish. We turned bullish all the way down here, and we've never turned bearish ever since, because we are at all-time highs. There's nothing for us to turn bearish from. We have 4 more days until the monthly candle closure. So at the moment we have this big rejection wick to the upside, which could signify profit taking to go lower. So if we don't close above the previous all-time highs of the monthly chart, I do think that this could be a start of a short-term bearish retracement. I don't want to say that this is going to be the top for now. That's predicting, and that's what I don't want to do. But we could see some short-term retracement, slower to continue going higher. Or if we do see a resistance from here, I want to see price come up, respect it to go lower and turn monthly bearish if that's the case. But currently monthly bullish, so weekly supports are key areas to look for buys from. So going down to the weekly time frame, what is the storyline? We are weekly bearish, right? So this is not supposed to be here. So we are weekly bearish, which is actually opposite to that of the monthly storyline. So monthly bullish but weekly bearish means that either the weekly is in a short-term retracement as opposed to the monthly, or we are seeing early signs of a bearish bearish trend start on the monthly. The weekly will normally show its hands first before the monthly follows suit. So we turned bearish around here. We came out to all-time highs. We had that weekly reject weekly, and then here we had another weekly resistance form, weekly reject weekly, and this time we actually had a daily bearish breakout. So that followed through, that gave birth to that weekly bearish storyline. So weekly bearish storyline, meaning sales from weekly resistance as well as daily resistances, are valid. So where are the key areas we should be looking at? So at the moment we have a few. This area isn't fresh, so no longer valid to take shorts from. Here we have a weekly bearish open close, and here we have a flip zone. So next week we could see price come up to test either of these zones to go lower, because we are currently in a bearish trend, a bearish storyline, sorry, and you should be wary of weekly supports down here. We have this left shoulder, we have this open close right here. So these are some of the key areas you should be eyeing at. So left shoulder, open close, support. So shorts should be removed around here if it was me, but I won't tell you what to do. Okay, now we do have this concerning long wick that's rejecting the downside, so next week could see some choppiness, especially because we're coming into the end of the month. We could see some choppiness, but this is negated by NFP and FOMC being in that same week. So definitely expecting some momentum. Even if we do close in a doji, you could expect some momentum coming in an intraday basis. Okay, so shorts around these levels are valid. Longs should be considered when we come into the supports down below right here. Okay, so just be wary of where you want to sell at, be wary at where you want to take off those sells, and consider a long at. Okay, so going down to the daily, let's refine those weekly levels just a bit. The daily storyline currently is bearish. Where did we turn bearish from? Oh no, I keep going down, but where did we turn bearish from? All right, so daily storyline is bearish. Where did we turn bearish from? Right here at this support, breaks, turn resistance, with a storyline being formed right here. So we know that the daily is in line with the weekly, so bearish sales are looking pretty clean. These are the weekly levels with a few day levels within them. So this entire key area is an area for you to look for shorts down into maybe this daily support or even this weekly support right here. We have the daily left shoulder right here, as well as this traditional SNR. We have this weekly resistance, and above it we have this open close. This is a weekly resistance, and above it we have this refined daily SNR. So this is, at this price point, this is the final stand for me to look for shorts. If we go higher than that, we could be coming into some of these untapped levels right here. This is not fresh because this is tapped. So some of these key levels right here could be areas for you to look for shorts if we do come up all the way there, right? But as of now, I'm not expecting that. Just want to be realistic. We could just come into here and then dip. Okay, so that is gold. Now remember, this is your friend right here. This is your one true friend that won't betray you in trading. You could choose to stay out during high volume and news releases on these certain days, or you could just hold swing positions in anticipation that your intraday trades may be wicked out. Okay, so that is it for gold. Moving down to our final pair, the US500. What storyline are we on the monthly? Well, we are monthly bullish all the way down here. Right, so in this entire move, we never turned bearish from any of these levels because we never respected them. So bullish down here. Where are we currently at? Here we are, 4 days in the trading month, and we currently have a really large wick opposing to the upside. So we could see price form a resistance on the monthly, come up, test it next month to go lower. That's something we could expect, you know, or we could see price just continue threading upwards. Currently we are bullish, so longs at weekly supports are key. So going down to the weekly, where are we currently at? So weekly is bearish. So remember, same thing as gold, monthly bullish, but weekly bearish could mean that we are going into a retracement mode, or we could see a long-term bearish trend start. You could expect both, but just try to kind of be more of a reactor alongside your predictions. Don't try to call tops too quick, because keep in mind, when we were making all-time highs right here, right, we're making all-time highs right here, people were calling tops, but then it never topped, you know, it just kept going up. So don't be that guy that's trying to short around every single all-time highs, because, you know, before their all-time highs, prices, you know, kept going higher. All right, so we turned bearish on the weekly around here. This open close flip became weekly reject weekly right here, and we just started to tank down. So at the moment, we could see price come up into weekly areas of resistance to push price down. At the moment, this is the current all-time highs. This is my last stand for shorts, but we're very far from it, so we could come up here, test this to go lower. This area is also an area of resistance, this flip, so we could come up here, we could come up here to go lower. Okay, we did come off of this weekly support, and we have a weekly reject weekly, but we don't have a confirmation of the weekly bullish storyline just yet. This could be an obstacle, so do beware that this could invalidate any of your sell ideas right here. Okay, because we did have a good bullish rejection off of this, so we could see price go higher from here, but until then, I'm not calling it a bullish weekly storyline. All right, so coming down to the daily, we are also in a bearish storyline from all the way here, from this flip right here. We respected it, and then we came all the way down. So weekly bearish, daily is also bearish. We could see short-term retracements up into weekly and daily resistances to go lower. So first weekly resistance here, second one is right here, and then we also have this big daily gap that we could fill and then come down lower from. Okay, so a few key areas to look at. This daily flip is right above a weekly support right here, so we could see price tap it, but understand that we could also retest the weekly support as well as the daily support right down here before going higher. So your stops might have to be either very big, or you would have to risk being stopped out, which is why I did not draw that there, because it's not a refinement of the weekly support. A refinement has to be beneath that higher time frame level, which is that weekly. This daily has to be beneath this weekly to be considered a refinement. This one is not, so it's not a refinement. So we could still see price come down into this area right here to push price higher, and we could see a reaction to go lower from any of these weekly resistances. Okay, so move down, move up, potential move lower right here. Okay, weekly supports, monthly support, and we have a daily flip right in this area just beneath that weekly, so we could tap that to go higher if we were to reach into that. But you know, at the moment, still waiting for confirmations, so we are still bearish as of now. Next week likely to be that bearish move in play. Okay, maybe around here, maybe around here, we will never really know. All right. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Interesting week coming up. On Monday to Friday, a lot of news releases. Keep your capital safe. Don't rush into trades. It's totally fine to stay out, considering next week is going to be a wild week. All right, no swearing in this channel, no swearing in these videos. But next week can be a really rough week for a lot of traders. If you don't take a trade, remember, if you don't take a trade for next week, you are still outperforming 90% of traders because they all blow their accounts by getting into impulsive trades. I'm your friend Hitori FX here from TRADEXPROP, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.